What's up, world? It's Bernard Bowie. This is the perfect opportunity for you. This is the official video mastery for the short-term car rental business. I got 13 exciting chapters for you guys to learn from start to finish on how to get into the business all the way to exiting the business. If you're really interested in this opportunity and you're ready to take advantage of going into the new year, this is the opportunity for you. Click the link in my bio if you're ready to learn about how to get into the short-term rental business. And I'm about to give y'all some really exciting tips on how I got into it. And it's gonna go all the way from scaling the business to marketing the business to business credit, personal credit, partnerships, all different types of opportunities. So if you're really interested in learning how you can go from 0 vehicles to making $100,000 a year plus, give or take more, whatever you want to say, all the way to owning your own types of vehicles, this is the perfect opportunity for you. So let's go. The VIP There Now Short-Term Rental Car Mastery, where you're going to learn all the tools, tips, and tricks from me, specifically Bernard Bowie. I'm going to give y'all all the game from all the years that I've been in this business, throughout multiple states, throughout multiple countries, multiple types of vehicles, different types of partnerships. I'm going to really just lay it out for y'all in this form, whether you get it in actual audio or you actually have time to sit down and watch this video, whatever it may be, but this is what we're doing. So I'm gonna jump right into it, tell y'all about the table of contents, what each chapter is, then I'll break it down a little more even after that. So the first chapter is, of course, is what is short-term rentals, specifically in the car industry business. So everybody know what the word short-term rental is, but if you don't, the word short-term rental is basically renting out something short-term. It could be for an hour, it could be for a day, it could be for a moment, it could be for a year, it could be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, throughout the trajectory of a rental, because they don't actually own it or they may not want to own it, right? So therefore it's a short-term rental to that person specifically. Chapter 2 is Business 101. Business 101 is all the things that you need to do to set up your business properly and to fulfill the business properly and to manage it and run the business properly. I'm going to go through different types of corporation structures, the blueprints of building business credit or using personal credit or using credit cards or different types of funding the business in order to do what you want to do within this short-term rental business. Chapter 3 is market research. Yeah, it's knowing what you're buying and when you're buying it, and does it make sense, right? And that's like right now. You see, I'm sitting in a slingshot and I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, it's hot a lot of times in the city, but as you get towards where we are right now in October, November, December, it really starts to get cold. So this is not a good vehicle to buy as one of your first or your second vehicles when you're starting in short-term rentals, because you're not going to be able to rent it all the time. Right after this is shut down. So if you're in Miami or you're somewhere in Florida or something where it's hot consistently, this may be the type of vehicle that's for you. But again, this is what market research is about. And then of course chapter 4 is acquiring the vehicles. This is how you purchase the vehicle. Like I mentioned in Business 101, you may be purchasing this vehicle through personal credit, or you may be personally financing it. You may be using business credit, or you may be using business funding, or you may have a partner who wants to invest into the business, right? It's all different types of ways that you can acquire. Somebody can gift you a vehicle and they want you to rent it. You can broker vehicles. There's all different types of ways that you can acquire a vehicle in order to do what you want to do. Then chapter 5 is security and insurance. Because this is a high turnover industry, you got to be able to have security for your vehicles and insurance for your vehicles, because if you don't have insurance, somebody gets into an accident, or you get into an accident, or somebody just hits your car randomly, you got to be able to protect your assets and your investors or your credit for that sense, right? And then the same thing go with security. somebody may rent your vehicle and they may try to steal the vehicle, or it may get stolen from them, or it may be sitting in a parking lot and it gets stolen. You need to be able to go after your vehicle the right way, and that's maybe just having something as simple as a tracker and a kill switch in it, and I'll dive all the way into what that looks like, okay? Boom! So you just finished that chapter. Now it's time for you to go into the next chapter, because this chapter is even more exciting than the last one. So chapter 6 is operations. When I talk about operations within the rental car business, it can vary from a lot of different things, from contracts, photos of the vehicles before they go out and after they go out, to videos before they go out to after they go out, teaching your staff how to properly intake and rent out a vehicle, teaching your staff or you knowing how to properly rent out a car or fill out a contract, or make sure somebody have a valid driver's license, or making sure somebody have valid insurance, how to take payments, whether it may be a payment processing software that you use like Stripe or PayPal or Zelle or Cash App, or wiring, or taking credit card payments, or even taking cash payments and deposits. Those are just some of the smaller things that we go into when it comes to operating inside of the short-term rental business. Another thing is your frequently asked questions, your FAQs. So when you're not there, your staff know 100% how to operate your rental car business, because that's one thing that a lot of people have. You may decide to expand your business to another city or another state or somewhere locally, or you may not be able to be there at that time when it's time to rent a rental car, and you need somebody to 100% know exactly how you do it. Even maybe taking the pictures or washing the vehicle before it go, washing the vehicle when it come back in. You know, all of these are small tool tips and tricks that you need when it comes to operating your business. See, you thought I was playing. I told you I'm gonna give you everything that I've been through and how I got into this business, and how the time is now for you to take full advantage of this opportunity. So don't wait. Chapter 7 is payments. How are you taking payments? That's the biggest thing. You know, in a lot of different cities, people take different payment methods based off of where they are, because some cities don't have certain payment processing. But an example would be if you're taking Stripe, you're taking PayPal, you may use your bank as a payment processor. You may be with Bank of America or Wells Fargo, and they have their own POS system. Or you may use Cash App or Zelle, Apple Pay, or you may take cash. All of these are different payment methods that you'll take when somebody's renting your vehicle, and learning how to take deposits and send deposits back, because you always want to take a deposit for a vehicle just in case something happens to that vehicle. You making sure that it's done always secures your worst case scenario of your vehicle being crashed or stolen or burnt up. You know, I done been through it all. So these types of scenarios is stuff that we're going to definitely dive into when it's time. But you know, payment processing is the strongest thing, because if you rent out a vehicle, you obviously want to get paid for it. And a lot of people go through scenarios to where, you know, chargebacks happen, you know, and you got to have your operations, your contracts, and your policies and procedures in place. So therefore you have something to submit to your payment processing company to show that the dispute that somebody did for the vehicle after they had it for a weekend or a week or one day was a false, you know, it was a false claim, and you have the proper documents in order to support your claim. Chapter 8 is listing your vehicles. So in this next video, you're going to learn all about listing your vehicle, how to properly list your vehicle, when to list it, what tools, tips, and tricks you must put inside of your descriptions when you're going through this. I'm going to give you some great examples. So when you're listing your vehicle on a short-term rental platform, example may be Turo, you want to list the colors, you want to list the color of the vehicle, you want to list the size of the rims, you want to list the interior colors, you want to have multiple pictures, you want to talk about the display screen inside, whether it has Bluetooth, whether it has wireless chargers inside of the vehicle, whether it's keyless start, it has tinted windows. You know, you want to be very, very descriptive, as much descriptive as you can when you're talking about your vehicle, because that, in sense, gives somebody all the sense of, okay, this person actually knows about their vehicle. They know what they're talking about, and it gives them more of an opportunity to actually do business with you versus just clicking on the next car, because a lot of people are visual, but some people actually like to read about what they're getting ready to spend their money on. So the more descriptive you are when it comes to your vehicle, the better chance you have of renting your vehicle. So stay tuned for the next video, because it's getting ready to get even more better when it comes to listing your vehicles, and I got some great things for you in the next chapter. Chapter 9. In this next chapter, we're going to talk about marketing. I'm going to talk about a lot of different ways to market your business. It might be social media, it might be digital media, it might be word of mouth, because a lot of times it's not who you know, it's who knows you and what they say about you at these times when it comes time for you to make money within your business. So a couple tools that I got for you guys essentially is merchandise. Like, who's representing your brand, and are you representing your brand at the time when it needs to be advertised and marketed? So you might have the dad hats, you might have swag, t-shirts. When somebody rents your car, are you giving them a sticker? Are you giving them a keychain? Are you giving them a bottle of water with your brand on it? So therefore, when they rent your car or any type of vehicle that you may have, they're thinking about your brand on a consistent basis. So affiliates is a great way to market your brand. One, because they're pushing and advertising your business, so therefore they can make money from the sale of somebody renting your vehicle. Basic communication skills and marketing. Sometimes you may not be an early person, but your phone go off in the morning. Having those basic communication skills of not being an early morning person, but still taking care of your business and closing out the deal, it's important. When it comes to closing out a deal, another thing may be different times, different holidays, whether it might be a weekend. It's all different types of things that you can use to advertise and market your business in the right sense, because price variation may go into that. It may be a popping weekend in your city, like All-Star Weekend or Super Bowl. You're not going to rent your vehicle at the same price that you was renting for on the first day, but now you have the opportunity to upcharge or downcharge the rental car. Or somebody may want the vehicle for a week versus 2 days. So if they wanted your vehicle was supposed to be rented for $100 a day, now they want it for a week. You may give it to them for $80 a day versus $100 a day, and now they rented it for the whole week versus the weekend, right? So there's all different types of ways of negotiating opportunities in marketing in order to get your vehicle rented for 1 day, but actually getting it rented for 7 days, or getting somebody to take over the note, right? This is a way to market your business. A lot of people need vehicles over a longer period of time, especially if they know they have the opportunity to get the vehicle at an affordable rate that they need it for. So when you're talking about marketing and advertising your business, these are so many different ways that we're going to really dive into the opportunities of getting somebody to rent your vehicle. Stay tuned for the next chapter. Chapter 10 is multi-platform listings. In this chapter, I'm gonna dive really into how do you maximize having your vehicle on multi-platforms at one time, how to properly do it so therefore you don't miss bookings or overbook. We're gonna go into a lot of different things like that. So when you have the opportunity to have a vehicle, and because there's so many different platforms like Turo, you have Hire Your Car, you got Zipcar, you got Car2Go, or you may do private rentals, which that's what I specialize in. You gotta have a calendar system set up, so therefore when a vehicle gets booked off of this platform, it automatically blocks off your listing on this platform. And then pricing, you may wanna have a different price on different platforms because it's a different type of clientele. Like when you do private rentals, you can have your vehicle at a higher price versus a vehicle on Turo, because there may be 10 or 20 or 2 types of the same vehicle that you have. So what is going to stop somebody from renting another vehicle for $50 less just because it's the same vehicle on that platform, right? These are the types of things that multi-listing platforms will cover, right? But I'm here to teach you guys how to rent your vehicles through your own personal fleet. That's what I specialize in. That's where I grew my business from 1 car to having over 40 cars throughout the United States, having over 50 cars throughout the world of opportunities like this. So private rentals is where you want to go. But at the same time, having your vehicles on those other platforms, guess what it is? It's free advertising, because you can easily have a client from that platform, let them book it one time, and then 9 times out of 10 they're going to come back and rent the same vehicle from you, or a different vehicle from you, because of the experience that you gave them. And then that's when you book them on the private rental side. So if you're really interested in how I got into the short-term rental, private rental sector, this is the chapter for you. So don't be afraid. Click that link right now and go ahead and dive into this chapter. I'll see y'all in the next chapter. This next chapter, which is chapter 11, I'm going to talk about scaling the business. It may be partnerships, it may be different broker opportunities, it may be using different affiliate markets, it may be even changing cities or even locations with the vehicle, or changing the vehicle and getting another vehicle for the proper time of that season. An example would be, you may be in a slingshot, that may be your first vehicle, but if you're in Philadelphia, that vehicle may not make the most sense of having in the winter seasons, because it's a seasonal type of vehicle, right? So you may want to change the market and send that vehicle to Miami or somewhere where it's more hot at, or turn in that vehicle and get another vehicle that's more fit for the season. Another thing in scaling a business, if you have a different type of SUV, it may have been black. For this season, you may want to change it to red, or change it to blue, or change it to white, based off of your demographics and your market of who you're marketing to at that time. Another thing may be team building, right? Team building and scaling a business may take your vehicle from one booking a week to 3 or 4 vehicles, to 3 or 4 bookings in that 1 week, because you don't always have to rent the vehicle out for a day or 2 in order to make money. You can rent that vehicle out using photo shoots, video shoots, movie sets, different types of things in production, to where they may only need that vehicle for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, or maybe even 12 hours, and make the same type of money, if not more, that you would charge for renting that vehicle for a full 24 hours. So stay tuned for chapter 12. This is the opportunity for you to scale your business. If this is the chapter that you've been waiting for, don't be afraid to hit the next chapter, because we're getting ready to go all the way up. Chapter 12, which is my favorite chapter of all, is brokering. Whether you're brokering your own vehicle out to other people, or you don't own a vehicle and you're going to use your skills, your expertise, your network to broker other people's vehicles. We're going to really dive knee deep into this chapter, because this is how I started my business. This is the one that's most important and the most fun for me, because you have the opportunity to make money from other people's liabilities and help them turn that liability into an asset by guaranteeing them that you're going to help them make money from a vehicle that they own. And I'm going to teach you specifically how I do that. And it may be leveraging partnerships, adding value, and locating different vehicles all throughout the world. And a great example, when I went to Dubai, I actually went to rent a vehicle just so I can get close to the business owner of that company and tell them that I rent vehicles just like they do inside of the United States. So guess what they did? They gave me a list of their vehicles, they gave me a broker rate for those vehicles, and now I'm able to make money from cars that I would never own in a whole nother country and do business, right? So these are the types of things I'm going to teach you in this chapter, of how to leveraging your partnerships and other people's vehicles and turning their liabilities into assets. Stay tuned for chapter 13, which is the final chapter of this short-term rental mastery. Chapter 13, this is exiting your vehicle. I'm going to teach you about all the different types of ways that you need to exit your vehicle or exit the business in the event that it's not working, or it's working and you want to get out of that vehicle. Now you may ask, what do I mean by that? I mean, if a vehicle gets crashed, how do you deal with insurance? If a vehicle gets stolen, how do you deal with the customer? How do you deal with the police? Police reports, incident reports, proof that they had the vehicle. Where was the vehicle missing at? You know, in the event that you want to sell that vehicle, who do you sell it to? How do you sell it to them properly? I'm going to teach you about all these different things. I'll give you one quick example. When I had a vehicle stolen, I had a tracker and a kill switch in the vehicle. So therefore, I knew exactly where the vehicle was. I knew where to go get it from. And of course, I wasn't going to put myself in danger and go try to take the vehicle back from the person. I was able to call the proper authorities and have them go repossess my vehicle, but then it had damages on it. So then I had to contact my insurance company, and the vehicle ended up being totaled. So therefore, I had to show the police report. I had to show where it was. I had to give them all of the documents from operations and show them that the vehicle was rented to a customer who had insurance and the vehicle got stolen from them. They had the opportunity to make sure I was able to exit that vehicle properly and get a check from it, because that's the point of it. In the event that you have a vehicle that you can no longer rent, you don't want to take that 30, 40, 50, $100,000 loss on that vehicle and still pay a note for it. You want to make sure that it's cleared out, especially if it's on your personal credit when you're first starting, or it's on your business credit. You want to show that that vehicle was paid off properly, so therefore you can leverage that opportunity and go rent and acquire some more vehicles. So this is the opportunity. That was chapter 13. I encourage you to watch all of these videos over and over and over again. And stay tuned, because each chapter that I just gave y'all, I'm going to dive more and more into these. So stay tuned for the short-term rental car mastery.